Hi folks, I'm Este. Welcome to ODD On Demand. And this is a short snippet for drills and tips and exercises for building your splits. I often get questions from a lot of my students, Este, how do I get splits? And I always give the similar speech that splits with integrity are equal parts strength and flexibility. And for me, the definition of mobility, of true mobility, is equal parts strength and equal parts flexibility. So a couple of things that I want to explain and educate to know the difference as to what will be effective and what really targets integrity with this kind of stuff. So there is two different types of mobility. There's like a passive stretch, passive mobility, which is using the lever of your hand to look to see how long my hamstring is. Like, this tells me that I have open hamstrings, that I'm using the lever of my hand to passively stretch my hamstrings. But if we're talking about my hip mobility, my active mobility, I have the capacity to keep my leg there by engaging the tissues of the front of my hip and my spine. So again, we have, passive mobility. I'm using gravity to create a stretch. There's not a whole lot of activity in my hip at all. It's completely inactive, but I am feeling a pull on the length of my hamstring. Passive mobility, active mobility. Passive stretch, using some kind of tool or lever to create the space. True integrity of the strength of my hip. Yeah? So what targets splits is creating isometric contractions. So let's come into a half split position with your left knee underneath your hip, and you'll take 2 blocks for this. Come into Ardha Hanuman, half splits, and for most people, they'll dorsiflex the ankle and lock the knee. Let's keep the dorsiflexion. Let's bend the knee pretty generously. And then draw your awareness to your butt bones and flare your butt up. Find an anterior tilt, a little like cow pose arch or up dog arch. And so what that does is it slides more of the glutes and the pelvis away from the hamstring connectors. And from there, rotate the right thigh bone out. This is a passive stretching. Inhale, exhale. And you'll do that like 3 times, 2 more times. Inhale, firm the hands down, keep tilting your butt bones up and back. 1 more, the whole thigh bone rotates open. Inhale, exhale, the whole thigh bone rotates out towards the inner thigh. Great. Take your blocks, put them on their tallest setting, keep your right leg as it is with the micro bend, tuck the back toes, and come into this funky pyramid. Now, you'll lift the back heel and walk the hands so that they're truly underneath your shoulders. And as you press down like a plank pose, absorb and pull the right thigh bone into the hip socket. Engage your abs, engage your hip, float the heel, and slowly lower down. Then we try it again. Shift forward, little bend in the knee. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, press down, pull everything up and in. Yeah? Let's switch sides. Half split setup on the second side. Blocks on whichever setting you need. My body prefers medium for this. And then bend your front knee, flare your butt bones back. Inhale, rotate left. Exhale, rotate towards the center. Again, inhale, the whole thigh bone spins out. Exhale in. 1 more round, the knee follows. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Great. Come back to center, tuck the back toes, and find your blocks on higher support. And then come on up to this funky pyramid pose. Readjust your blocks so they're directly under your shoulders, and lift high onto your back toes. Bend the front knee slightly. Inhale, reach the heart forward like cobra. Exhale, firm the hands down, plug the thigh bone into the hip socket, float for a moment, and then lower down. 2 more. Lift high. Inhale to prep. Tilt the butt bones, exhale, absorb and lift. And drop. 1 more. Inhale. Big exhale. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. So, one more thing. Have a seat on your tush, no blocks for this. And start with your right leg forward and bend your left knee, planting the sole of your foot as close as you can towards your butt. Then wrap your arms around your shin and lift your chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, activate your right hip and lift. Hold 5, 4, lift your chest. 3, 2, 1, gently rest. Active hip mobility. Now send your supporting foot about halfway forward, so now I'm around like my calf alignment. Then you'll flex your foot, round your spine, try not to hit this microphone, round the spine and grab your foot. So now tuck and round your spine. We've closed the angle in your hip a little more. Breathe in. Exhale, float. The quad will turn on more. You might not go as high, and you for sure will feel a lot more power in that hip. You're closer to the action of the front split. Breath in. Exhale, lower down. Last thing on this side, aim to get ankle to heel or heel to heel. Keep the foot flexed, round yourself over and interlock. Round like crazy. This one's gonna be the most intense one. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Press the butt bones down, press the heel down. 5, you got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Holy moly, relax that thigh. All right, same thing, second side. Start with your right foot towards your butt. Wrap your arms around your shin and lift your chest. Take an inhale. Keep your chest lifted for this one. Exhale, lift up. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Good job. Foot a little further forward, more in line with your calf. Flex, interlock, round. Inhale. Exhale, pull up. Hold 5, 4. You got it. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1, gently release. Whew. Hardest one. Let's go. Take your heel to the ground. Pull your belly in. Round your spine. Inhale to prep. Exhale, lift up, squeeze, and hold it. I know. 5, I'm feeling it. 2, 4, holy moly. 3, 2, 1. Oh, pound it out. Alrighty, and so to build this in your split, of course, there would have to be a lot of things going on, but I want to leave you with how to apply this in the practice. So first, don't try this if you don't feel warm in your hamstrings, but the hips might feel some of that space. So I would do this with like a sock or a blanket. I didn't take the time to grab it now, but imagine that I had one. So you'll come back into that pyramid shape, and if you're using a sock, you can just do this on your floor if you have a hardwood floor, or if you have a blanket, you want to put that in front of your mat. It'll help you slide into your splits. So you want to have about 1.5 feet, or maybe a little more space between your right foot and the edge of your mat. Take your bricks, flex your foot, front foot is flexed, and I'm high on the toes. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press down, hug the hip in, the thigh bone, and shift forward. Then you crawl the blocks a little further forward. Keep the back leg where it is. Inhale to prep. Exhale, press down, float up, press forward and reach back. And so you can see that once we get to that point, you can start to slide, but I'm not like just hanging out in the bones and hoping for the best. I am pulling that inner thigh in. I am keeping the contraction. I can still, if I needed to, find that activity. And you can try that on both sides. Well, thank you for tuning in. And check out this series. We'll be having more of these tips and little drills for your friends. Thank you so much.